Hi guys, this is Tina. Welcome back to my channel. So as promised, I have come back to show you how to create the cover for your ring bound journal. Basically, this is one of my pages, obviously, that we did. And I just want to show you, all I have done is detached the front and back cover from a vintage book. You can see it's, you know, it's tatty and yeah, just kind of detached it like that. Now, you can probably see here that basically this is pretty much the width of my pages, but it is longer. Now, I don't mind that, but obviously, you know, if that's going to sort of bother you and you would prefer bigger covers, then you would need to find something else, you know. Alternatively, or as another note, you can cut these pages down if you were finding that it's a bit too long. Now, personally, I do not have great success with doing that. I mean, as you know, I'm not a very good person at doing anything that requires a bit of precision. So I'm sure that there is a fantastic method there for cutting these covers down. I have yet to find it. So yeah, I will probably just leave mine the full length that it is and just have it overhanging top and bottom, because I think that's, you know, absolutely fine anyway. So I'm going to just put the page out of the way, and then I'm just going to show you basically how I would prep this. So you can probably see that there's a bit of a colour difference here. All I have done is basically, you know, tidied up the edge slightly. So, you know, you can just trim off any bits that you've got left hanging like that. Oops. Like that. And then all I do personally is take some regular sandpaper and sand my cover. Now, you do not have to sand it tons, you know, just a little bit, because all you're actually trying to do is make a key, you know, for, sorry, I should have explained this. I'm going to paint these. So that's what you're making a key for. But I guess it's the same as if you were gluing paper over this as well. I mean, you want it to be able to stick really nicely. And a lot of books, they have a slightly, I'm not saying glossy, because it's not a glossy film, but a bit of a sheen to them. So you're just ideally, you know, hopefully you can kind of see the difference there. You're just taking the very top layer of that off, so your glue's got something a bit better to stick to. Now, I am going to do this off camera purely because this is a hideous noise. This is just regular sandpaper, you know, that you would use around the house. And literally all I'm going to do, so please excuse the noise, is just go over my cover like that, over the entire cover. And then what I will do is also run the sandpaper down this edge, which will just then neaten those edges up. Okay, so I will go and do that so you don't have to actually obviously listen to that hideous noise, and then I will come back. Okay, so I have done that now, and as you can see, you know, again, just similar to the front cover, I haven't taken a great deal off, just literally the very top, you know, scratching the surface basically. So I'm going to just use this regular acrylic paint. I've got two of these which are sand. Now, there is not a great deal left in either one of these, but I've also got this one, which, this is buff titanium, apparently. So all I'm going to do is literally mix them together, because I suspect that these probably are going to be slightly different colours where they're from different bottles. So, oops, now I've got a blob of hot glue from my glue gun that's switched on beside me. Yep, I finally bought some, remembered to buy some glue sticks. I made a conscious effort after another video where I was so fed up with keep saying, oh, I've forgotten to actually order this. And I know I've said this so many times, but what happens is I just film, you know, up to the wire. So normally film like maybe like till I'm going to go and, you know, pick my daughter up from school or whatever. And so then what happens is obviously I finish filming and put my iPad straight on to, you know, plug it in, and either I edit the video quickly and then leave that in iMovie, you know, editing the video, saving the edited video, or uploading if it doesn't really need editing. And then I go straight to the school. So subsequently, I then completely forget any record of what I may or may not have been feeling irritated at running out during a video, because obviously I've then moved on to the next thing I'm doing and no longer really thinking about it. So it's not until the next time that I come to do a video and I think, oh, I still haven't ordered whatever it is. Right, now, can you see there that that red is kind of running? Now, I'm not sure, because I'm, you know, a bit slapdash with my crafting. So I'm not sure whether that colour run is due to my sanding. I've never actually experienced the colour run before. And I have always sanded lightly before. So I don't know whether it's that this book, you know, was just a little bit prone to the colour running. I don't know. But anyway, you know, it doesn't matter, because all that we will do is obviously go over and give it another couple of coats to cover up the pink shade that's now appearing. Because much as I love pink, that's obviously not really going to go with our blue journal. So, and this paint dries pretty quickly on these covers, so you know, it's pretty quick and easy method to use. Okay, try and go all around the edge. And then what you might want to do once this is dry is just kind of like skim the edge here to get rid of the colour that's then on the inside as well. But we'll do that in a moment. So what I'm going to do is now heat gun dry these covers. So again, I'm going to switch the camera off, do that, and then come back. We'll give it another coat or maybe two, and then we can crack on with decorating the covers. Okay, so they're dry-ish. I mean, I probably should have dried them a bit more in truth, but I'm very impatient, so we'll just get on as much as we can. So okay, nearly out of that one, because really I should try and now just have one paint colour open rather than like several that are just more or less used up. So I'm going to try and be a bit better with things like that. So I mean, as you can see, it's now covering really fine. So I mean, we might just do a third coat, and by the third coat I think it will be, you know, really covered really well. I mean, as I say, I haven't really experienced that before with the colour running, so it could just be that it's this book, you know. Yeah, I don't know, I haven't really kind of had that happen before. And the other thing is, I mean, obviously if that colour then matched your journal, it might have been nice to leave it. I mean, some older journals that I made previously, I often just did the cover by just literally painting it quite a light coating, so you could really properly see. Oops. So you could really properly see through the paint to the cover. So it was very rough and ready. And then maybe just stamped like a little corner stamp or something. And I mean, I love that look. So things like that are just really simple, easy, and really nice ways to finish your covers, or, you know, to decorate your covers without having to really go to town too much with adding a load of stuff and, you know, really over the top embellishments. So, you know, just bear it in mind that things don't always have to be super decorated. You know, they can be plainer. I mean, honestly, talk about pot calling the kettle black, because I mean, you couldn't really meet anyone who over decorates things as much as I do, but you know what I mean. Right, I'm just going to try those again, so I'll be back in a moment. Right, I am back, and as you can probably see, my covers are still pink. So I have now done 3 coats on them, and they are still coming through pink. So I had a bit of a, you know, moment of, well, perhaps I'll redo the video and use something that is going to work. But I thought, no, I'll be brave, and I will just come along and we'll just work with what we've got here and see about, you know, an alternative now for if this type of thing happens to you. Please excuse my hands. I mean, I literally had that paint open for like 10 minutes and look at the state of me. That's how I am, I'm afraid. I don't know why, but I just cannot seem to do anything without getting in, you know, a complete and utter mess. So I do apologise, but I thought there's no point getting this all off because I might end up painting a bit more in a minute. So right, all we're going to do, I think, is some sort of collage and things on the front to try and cover up, obviously, all of the pink. I mean, the other things that you could do, I mean, obviously, probably really, I could just go and find something else to use as a cover, but I've started with this, so let's just, you know, continue on with this really. But another thing that you can do, I mean, you can always pick this, you know, the red layer, you know, you can peel that away. Again, I find that quite fiddly, and it doesn't really always come away perfectly. And again, some people have probably got some amazing suggestions for how to get it to come away, and probably, you know, probably just peels away in one perfect piece. But I don't know what that method is, so I'm just going to wing it, and we're just going to, you know, work with what we've got here regardless, basically. So all I'm doing is hunting around, seeing what I have got laying around on my desk that's vaguely blue. I mean, this is some of my collage page. So I might just use some of that. Like that. I saw a video the other day by Yvonne Preston, and oh my goodness, she collaged up, well, she was doing a cover, funnily enough, for a journal, and she collaged this cover. Admittedly, she was then covering it with gesso, so it wasn't really that visible, but I've never seen anyone collage so fast in my whole life. It was incredible. So I don't know whether anyone else caught that, but wow, she's just like, you know, the queen at fast collaging, I must say, and it looks awesome. She was making the most beautiful job of it as well. You know, even if she hadn't have covered it up, it really looked good. So yeah, it was very, very cool to watch. I mean, when I first started watching it and I just saw the speed she was going at, I thought, oh my goodness, it was just incredible. Right, I've got these little number tabs which I'm just finalising, so they may or may not be in my shop at the time when this video goes up, but if they're not in my shop yet, they will be very soon after this video. And you get 2 sheets. There's a sheet of this size, and then a sheet containing just a handful of really quite big ones, and then just some tiny ones, you know, about half this size. And I have included some on the pages that I've done like off camera, which when we obviously construct the journal, you know, put the journal together, you will obviously see them. I mean, I hope you like them. They're really fun to use, and they were a bit like butterflies, a bit like the bling, in that everywhere I put them, they just looked so cool. So yeah, I hope that you guys like them as well. And then these are just my plain labels as opposed to my labels with the roses on. So I just thought they, you know, they're quite good to use on here. And then, sorry about all the rustling, I'm just pulling in some book page, which will just obviously, you know, put some book page as well. Do you know what? I might just try and go for it like Yvonne did in her video. It was just so awe-inspiring, honestly. I was just like, whoa, she is like queen of collage. I mean, obviously Rachel is kind of queen of collage, but Yvonne was like queen of speedy collage, you know. I'd never seen anyone collage so quickly. It was just really impressive. So yeah. Right, now I'm going to use my Mod Podge, I think. So just pasting around, and actually I've just thought that's my inside. So what I'm going to do is actually swap these so that I have them the right way up, like that. Oh my gosh, now look, I must even have the red all over my fingers because there's now red all over that book page. Oh, this may be a mistake I can't cover up, to be fair. This may be a video that I have to do a rethink. I mean, I will try my best to work with it regardless, but it may come to the point where it's like, no matter what I do, this is now not going to be a success. I'm just going to do this like really quickly, so I'm just going to paste straight onto the page, which actually is probably a mistake in hindsight, because obviously now my brush is probably picking up that pink, or you know, that red. Let's hope not. Oops, now the doorbell's going. Not meant to do this, am I? Perhaps that's fate telling me, no, knock this on the head. Right, I'm back. That was the guy from the insurance company come to fit a, what's called a black box on my son's car. So that's what that was. Excuse me being puffed out now from running back upstairs. I did also wash my hands, would you believe, whilst I was gone. Not that you can tell, but I thought, oh, I'll try and clean a bit, but it didn't make a lot of difference. Right, let's just paste all over here. I'll just paste all over there as well. Yeah, I thought, oh, I'll wash my hands to try and get rid of that red, which seems to now be obviously coming off on everything. So that's that. Right, let's just pop a couple of these in. Just pop that one down there. Oops, I have to get rid of that whole bit of pink. Do you know, I might do exactly as Yvonne did and gesso over this at, you know, when I finish, because it looked awesome, I must say. So right, I'm going to use a bit of the Dawn Mist pages that we obviously have used inside the journal a little bit. So just going to pop that down there like that, and I will just pop this down here. Okay, right. Okay, press that down, and then I will do the other, you know, what's effectively the front cover, and then obviously come back and we'll trim this down and you know, tidy it up a little bit, so, and see what we can do with that. So let's just do the front. So again, I'm just going to really not think about it at all, just smother it with the Mod Podge and then just pop everything down exactly, you know, just where it lands basically, because that hopefully is going to be the best way. So I'm just going to, I think, pop that here. Just pop a bit more over here. So hope everyone's having a good day. Lots of people have said that they've been buying the Crafty Individuals stamps, so I'm really pleased because I think you're going to love them. You know, I think they're just the most beautiful stamps, and you know, really hope that you will love them as much as I do, because they really are lovely and, you know, such good value. And actually I noticed that a few people have commented that they've already received theirs, so you know, that's amazing service, isn't it? Because I mean, I've only been doing these videos for a little while and already people have been receiving their stamps. I mean, obviously that's in the UK, but you know, that's pretty quick shipping, I must say. So yeah, I'm really pleased that lots of you are buying them, because they're definitely, I think, the nicest, you know, the nicest stamps. They're not the nicest. I mean, there's lots of lovely stamps out there, but they're definitely one of my favourite, let's just say. So it's really great that so many people have also, you know, bought them and think that they're lovely. So I hope you're all going to really enjoy using them. I'm sure you will, because you know, how couldn't you? They are just really, really nice. Right, let's just pop this piece in here. And let's just pop a ticket, I think, here. And should we have that number 4? Perhaps I'll have that there. Oh, look, that pink's just still there, still making an appearance. Definitely it's something to do with this book, because as I say, I mean, I have not had that before, and you know, I always have done that same thing of sand it down a bit and then paint it. So yeah, might be worth doing a test run if ever you're going to be, oh gosh, now I've got the lace stuck on the paintbrush. Right, probably worth doing a test run if ever you're going to do something similar, you know, to make sure that it's not going to happen. Right, so that's that. Going to just pop that to one side and bring the first one back in. You know, I mean, obviously it's not dry, but it's drier, so just going to get rid of any air bubbles. I should have used my Costa card and spread this out. I didn't, because I didn't really want to tear the paper, because it's on such a sort of solid surface and it is only copy paper. I didn't want to tear it, but I mean, probably in hindsight, I probably should have used my spreader, but never mind. So I just cut around like that. Okay. So now, probably what I would do, I mean, ordinarily I would probably now sand it down again. I'm a little bit loath to do that, because am I just making that pink or that red reappear? I'm not sure. But I'm just going to sand it down very lightly, just so that any of my paper edges, you know, merge in a bit better, if that makes sense. So I'm not trying to sand it, you know, for getting back to the red. You know, definitely not trying to do that, but just to kind of tie the edges of the paper in slightly. So I mean, obviously this is quite soggy. Oh dear, this is why, just, you know, I should really not do things like this on video. Right, so just cut around what's going to be the front cover. Well, I mean, I say it's going to be the front cover. That remains to be seen as yet, because obviously if we can't make this come good, it won't be the front cover, obviously. But, you know, hopefully we'll manage to do something with it. Right, okay. Beginning to get a bit of a plan now in my mind. So I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. I mean, famous last words, to be honest, because, oh, I mean, this is not going well because this is very, very soggy. But, oh well. Let's just leave it like that. So, just going to stick this little corner down. Okay, right. Okay, so what Yvonne did was she went over hers with gesso. So, I might just do that. Let me just... Oh, this is not going to be good, is it? I was going to use that same brush, but that's probably ridiculous. Okay, let me put that down. I mustn't be a bodgy crafter. I know I quite often am, but I must use proper methods sometimes. So, right, let me get another brush. I bought these in a 3-pack of brushes. So luckily, I've still got that one there. Right, let me just get my gesso, which, as it happens, is just in my bag beside me. Right, now. Just taking a breath. Now, did she pour it direct onto the page? I'm pretty sure she probably didn't, because I'm not sure that other people really do that. So perhaps I should be a bit more like other people and pour it somewhere and just dip into it. Probably doesn't really make a great deal of difference, to be honest, but oh, look at that. Look at that. As soon as we've gone to do it, I've now noticed that my page is lifting at the edge, so that's not great. Not a great start. Right, okay. Let's just go over the whole thing with the gesso. I mean, actually, now that the gesso is going on, weirdly, I quite like the creases. I think they look really cool. So, kind of glad I've got them. So I'm just going to put some gesso, like, in any areas where I've got pink showing through. I'm just going to sort of fill it in. Oh my gosh, now my fingers, because this is obviously very soggy. Right. Look, now peeled up some of that book page. So again, this is how not to do it. You know, another video of how not to do things. Right, let's bring in this one, slightly less soggy, so, you know, hopefully be slightly better. And I'm going to go round the edges a bit more on this one, because obviously this is not quite so soggy. It's a little bit easier to work with. Although I may still end up, you know, making a big hash up of this too. So hopefully you can see, this is why when I say there's some things that just are like beyond my capabilities, you know, and not things that I should really dabble in. Hopefully you can see now why that is, because there are just some things that I'm better off just not really venturing into, and probably doing things like this on camera, they're probably just, you know, one of those things, to be honest. Right, I'm going to just again go over there where I've got pink in the corner. Got some pinky tones here, and I've got a big cluster of pink going on there. Right, okay, must be patient now and leave these to dry. I'll be back. Right, I am back. So the chap has left now from doing my son's black box in his car. I have been really good and washed my brushes up, so you know, that's kind of like unusual really for me. And these are dryish. They're pretty dry now. Right, So how to progress with these, I suppose, really. Don't know yet what I'm going to do on the inside of the front cover. I mean, I have to be honest and say, since doing this bit of collage, I'm actually tempted to do a bit of a collage on, whoops, sorry, just dropped my glue, on the front cover. Oh no, look, I ended up doing that the wrong way round after all anyway. Oh well, it doesn't matter. Yeah, I'm tempted to do a collage on the inside of the front and back covers, because I actually think that would be a really nice way to open the journal and find that nice collage. So sorry, I just knocked the desk already. I'm like kneeling up. So yeah, I think we're going to do that. So I'm going to try my very best to continue exactly as we did with the front, as in, you know, really not thinking about it and just, you know, sticking things down literally as they come to me. So all I'm going to do is just tear a few pieces ready. I mean, I know that I have talked before about collage. It doesn't necessarily come that easily to me, and it's not a natural, you know, I don't find that I'm very natural at it. So this is a good lesson for me as well. So, but I did like that effect on the front cover. So just going to have a few things ready, and then we can obviously crack on. I will have some of those numbers because, again, I thought they looked really fun. So these are actually the smaller ones, which are a bit more fiddly to tear. I probably should have printed off some more big ones. I don't know whether I've got some more big ones actually still sat there. Possibly have, but now they're buried under stuff. I can't see them. So just that one. And actually, I might have some of that scrapbook paper that we made the bases of the pages from. So I'll have a bit of a look in a second, because that again would be another pattern that we could have on the page. So yeah, very much winging it here, because obviously I'm completely thrown by what just occurred with the front cover and the red, and you know, so this is now not as per my original plan at all, I must admit. But I mean, hopefully it's still going to be awesome and still, you know, turn out really, really fine. So right, I have a bit more of my collage page, so let's just use that, I think. And actually what I should do is do a little bit more stamping, because we could obviously then include some of the lovely stamps. So I'll do that in a moment. Oops. Oh, come on. I'm trying to get it to get rid of that core of the paper. Oops. But obviously leaving as much of the paper as I can. So it was just a little bit too fiddly then. Oh gosh, look, doing it again. It's because I'm trying to be so stingy and leave as much as I can of the paper on there. I mean, this is where one of those tear rulers, I guess, would be, you know, the thing to be using. Right, let me just grab in a couple of the stamps and a little bit of coffee dyed paper. So I'm just going to use, oops, she says, I can actually grab some. I've got a whole bunch of coffee dyed paper here, but all of it's patterned. Just have a look to see whether I've just got any plain sheets of, oh, I don't believe it. It's literally all got stuff on it. you know, patterns. Right, hold on. Plan B. Plan B, I mean, we must be up to about Plan Z by now, mustn't we? Well, I've got some lined paper, so perhaps I will just do a couple of stamp pieces on there. And actually, what else I've got some paper bag. So let me just tear a little bit of paper bag. Right. Oh my gosh, I mean, talk about winging it, my gosh. If anyone's joining my channel for the first time and literally sat horrified, oh, I can only apologise. I can't necessarily claim that this is a one-off. I can't necessarily claim that I'm normally so much better than this. So I wanted probably this more brown, sort of slightly glossier side of the bag. And actually I have also, I've got a new stamp ink pad, so I'm going to use that. Yes, I really can't claim that this is a one-off, but I can say that it's not every video that turns out quite this haphazard. Quite a few. It is in quite a few, but not every video. So yeah, I just sparing a thought for those poor people just joining for the first time, literally probably horrified and thinking, oh my gosh, why is that woman even on doing videos? Look at her terrible crafting. I mean, my desk is just a tip. I've literally got things dropping down. Every time I pick something up, things are literally dropping. Right, so I'm going to use this beautiful stamp. And again, I'm just going to stamp sections of it, because obviously we're just going to be using this as a terry collagey piece anyway. So there's that piece there. And that piece here. You know what I've done? I opened my new stamp ink pad, and for some reason I'm now literally back to using the old one, because again, where my desk was in such a tip, it just got buried under the back somewhere of the desk. Oh, honestly. And perhaps we'll stamp this section here. Oh my gosh, what is going on? It's now started raining, which is really bizarre because it was such a lovely day. And yeah, the sun was literally shining 5 minutes ago. Right, I might keep my black stays-ons up there, because that's one less thing in my drawer and one less thing for me to keep banging into my drawer about every time I'm reaching in. Right, let's put these away. So it's like one less thing on my desk. Best even check that I'm in frame, that I'm filming, because yeah, I would never be surprised if I actually wasn't even filming, to be honest. Right, okay, so I'm just going to have these bits and bobs here. Now, do you know what? I'm not going to get in the mode of laying my stuff out, you know, like I normally do when I do a collage page and I kind of plan the collage. I don't want to do that. I want to be much more random. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to tear those bits that I've just stamped. So they're ready to use. And I'm just going to take this gorgeous one with the butterflies. Yep, this is going to be another one of those days where when I go to the school to get my daughter, people are going to think, oh my goodness, what's she been up to today? Look at the state of her hands. It's just a constant state of mess, I must say. Mind you, when I took my daughter to school this morning, she looked so scruffy. So scruffy. I put her collars down and I said to her, oh, come on, Missy, let's put your collars down. And then I noticed her cardigan was literally just hanging completely off, you know, like off of her shoulders. So actually the collars were like the least of her worries. But, you know, she was just oblivious to it completely. Right. Oops, I've picked up some paint now from the carrier bag when I just put the rubbish in there. Right, okay. So I have an abundance of bits and bobs here to get going with. Let's just pop them over to one side. Bring my Mod Podge back and bring in my brush that obviously I have washed. Okay. So again, I'm just going to do it really rough and ready, just as we did on the front. So I'm just going to apply lots of Mod Podge to, you know, stick it down with. So just going to go for it here. So that one. I mean, to be fair, I probably should take a bit more care over this, because this page I'm obviously intending on having sort of visible, but you know, we'll work with things as it comes to it, I think. So, I mean, I'm still thinking, will this video ever make it? Will this video ever actually make it to go up onto my channel at all? Because so far, it's pretty awful. So unless we, you know, turn it around, and everything comes good. I mean, actually, I don't think I have ever done a video and then not uploaded it. I might be lying. There might be one or two, but I don't think I have. It's hard to remember, isn't it? But I don't feel like I've ever done that. But there's a first time for everything, isn't there? So maybe this is going to be that one. Just put this on here. Okay, and pop a bit of that lovely paper bag. Actually, right, let's just have a look. So, I need to just tidy that up so it's sticking down properly. Right, already I'm now going into my normal overthinking when collaging state, so I must not do that. It's hard not to be fair. I mean, obviously it was a bit different on the front because I was intending on covering that up with the gesso. I'm not really intending on covering this up. I'm hoping that it's going to look nice enough to be able to have it on show. But again, time will tell. It may or it may not. So we'll see. We'll see how it looks. So these are those numbers. I think they're really nice. Really, really love them. Hope you guys think they're nice. And then should we just pop this? No, not quite. Oh dear, come on. So just have to pop a bit of this one on. And just pop that one down there. Can you hear that rain now? Loads of people commented about the other day when there was like really terrible strong winds howling, and loads of people said, wow, that wind is so loud. It really was really loud that day. So, yeah. Hopefully the rain is not going to be quite as loud as the wind was. Right, okay. Oh, now look. Now press that into the surface. Right, let me put this to one side to dry for 5 minutes while we do the back cover. And I'm just going to do literally exactly the same. I'm going to really try not to think about it at all. Just literally go for it, you know, in the most random sort of way. So just paste that down. That's the first one. Let's just have a bit of this on up here. Okay, pop this one down. Okay, right, a bit there. Oh, I'm so messy. So messy. Right. Pop this one down here like that. I've even got some black ink on this paper, look, from my messy stamping. So yeah, I've even managed to get black ink on the pieces that I wasn't obviously supposed to be getting the black ink on. So I'm just going to get more book page. Pull that back a bit. Okay, and then just down here, we just want something down here. Again, just anything is fine. Let's just maybe pop this one in. So I don't know whether everyone knows what a black box is. When I said that the guy was here to fit my son's black box in the car. I mean, there's something that you have over here in the UK. I assume that probably most countries have them. I mean, they're definitely a good idea. They monitor basically how the person driving the car is driving. I mean, the idea being that it will make your insurance cheaper. Yeah, so I mean, they seem pretty clever. I didn't see what it looked like or anything because obviously I came straight back to do my video. I, you know, just let him into the car and then just left him to it, and he just obviously then rang the doorbell to say that he was finished. But yeah, I mean, they're a good idea because I mean, I think if the insurance company deem that you're not a very sensible driver, I think they can even like withdraw your insurance. So I think, you know, they're really quite a good thing to have. I don't know whether you have to have them. I don't think you have to have them as a young driver, but I mean, definitely they're really good thing, and especially, you know, as a parent, I think really quite a good thing to have as a parent. You know, not for you to have as a parent, I don't mean, I mean good for you as a parent to help your, you know, or know or feel a bit of reassurance that your children are being monitored whilst they drive. I mean, obviously my son's just learning, so it's not like he's driving anywhere particularly at the moment because he obviously is only driving with us beside him, but you know. Right, okay, so that's my collage for the back inside cover. Let me pop that to one side. Let me get rid of my brush. I will probably, I suspect, have to re-glue some bits down because I'm pretty sure you know, I must have lots of bits that now are not really glued. Let me get rid of my brush. Right, let's bring my front cover, my inside of my front cover back. Okay, right, let's cut around so as it looks a little bit tidier. There we go. Right, straight away I have some coming up here, so oops, my glue dropped on the floor, didn't it, earlier? Now where did it go? Oh. Right, it just rolled off to the side. Okay, let's just glue this piece down. Okay, just glue that on. And I'm sure there will be, you know, other bits that have come up as well. Okay, right, that's that piece. Oops, now look, I've got something stuck on there. Right, let's just trim across the bottom. And up the side. Okay, so that's now looking a bit neater. I will rough that up slightly with the sandpaper. Again, this is not ideal because this is still very soggy, you know, where I've only just that second kind of glued it down. So it's not probably recommended to be doing this now. I'm only doing this now because obviously, you know, I'm doing the video and my gosh, I've already stopped the video numerous times, so I'm just trying to be a little bit more timely for you guys. So that's the inside of the front cover, and that's obviously the front cover. So whilst we wait, you know, for the back to dry, let's try and now get this looking a bit more in keeping with the rest of our journal. So excuse me, knocking the desk again. Right, what did I bring along with me? So I brought along with me my little book plates, title plates, and I'm just deciding which one I want. So this one's quite a sort of yellowy goldy colour, but my journal has got quite a bit of a yellowy goldy colour going on because a lot of that coffee dyed stuff was these sort of tones. So I'm just going to cut this around like that, and obviously these are in my shop as well. I have done a little launch video for this, but it's not gone out yet, so but they're pretty cute, I must say. Right, okay, so what I'm going to do, and again what I should probably do is test this first. So first of all, I'm going to just get my walnut because that's not as inky as my vintage photo, because my vintage photo is new and only just arrived, so I don't want to go too mad with that. So I'm just going to ink up over the front cover like that. Okay. And that's obviously just bringing it back into more of the colour of the rest of the journal, because otherwise it was obviously looking very white with the gesso on it. So there we go. And what I will do is just go round, now this is very inky, but just go round those corners and the edges with the very inky one, like that. Okay. Now on the inside cover, I just want to do the same again. So again, just going round the edges, inking them up, bit in the middle. I could obviously glue that down again in a minute. So again, you know, much more inky and dark on the edges, and hopefully that's now disguising and covering up any red that might have been showing from that cover. Okay. Okay, so I quite like that. I mean, I have got some wrinkles, but again, I mean, actually, it doesn't really bother me. I think they look quite nice. Right. Now, I'm wondering whether to not have any sort of pockets on this page. Let me just see what time it is. Right, I have to apologise because obviously where I've stopped the video so many times, I have not got the foggiest idea how long I have been filming for. So if this is now really, really long, I really am sorry. I just, you know, really don't know anymore how long it's been going on for. Right, I've got here my fairy tale words. So I'm thinking might use this once upon a time to start my journal off, and then I may use the happily ever after on the last page. I think would be kind of nice. So if I just put that there, and I'm just going to see, you know, what that would look like if it had a page next to it. So it would be sort of like that. And obviously I might put some lace or something like that. I don't necessarily think that needs a pocket or anything like that. Because actually it's quite nice to just appreciate the, you know, very pretty papers and the collage and all of that type of stuff. So I may have to leave it, and, you know, yeah, may just kind of leave it more or less as it is. I might add something like that because otherwise it's like 4 corners. Yeah, I might just add that up there, I think. Okay, let's add that up the top. Like that. And I mean, again, really, I probably should have inked it before sticking it down, but it doesn't really matter. So just pop that in there. I'm just going to ink up my Once Upon a Time. Oops. Okay. So that's really nice, isn't it? And then what I might do is just pop that Once Upon a Time onto some of that stuff, which I've had lots of people now saying to me, you know, what this potentially is, whether it's cheesecloth or muslin and things. A few people have said different things, so I'm just going to carry on calling it similar to cheesecloth. Cheeseclothy stuff. I actually don't think I like it on there, weirdly enough. Let me just have a look at some white netting. I think I'm sort of wanting something white. Let me have a look through the... I don't know now. Right, bear with me. I've got some white ruffle, which I finally have got round to stitching. So let me just bring that in. So if we had something maybe like that. I mean, I quite like it without the neck, but I very rarely go for less is more, don't I? Maybe that's not the right piece. Let me just grab in some of my white lace that I use quite often. So I'm just going to, again, just cut a little bit of this off. So I've just got a manageable piece here to bring into the, bring into frame. So pop that out the way. Yeah, I think that's the winning one for me. So let's just bring my scruffy book page in, and then check which is the right way up. Not that I think it matters, but I guess there is probably a right way. I mean, to be fair, it doesn't really matter because most of it's covered up. You know, by the time that we've stuck this on and then just cut a tiny edge piece, it is mainly covered up. But okay, okie dokie. So then we'll just cut this out randomly, sort of, or not randomly, roughly, not completely randomly anyway. Right, okay, so we're going to have this here, I think, there, or maybe even up in the corners. Quite pretty, isn't it? And then we could have something else dangling at the bottom, because obviously that just doesn't look fancy enough, does it? It's needing something else. Right, I love this up here, I must say. That's really, really nice. So let's commit to this. Like that. Oops, grab my wipe, press that down. Okay, so I love how that looks. And then actually I've got a wider ruffle, which probably is better there. Now look. Glued to the glue lid. So if we were to have that like that, I have got some white lace here, which we could have. Right, let me just have a look in the lens. Oh, I'm not sure about that. Right, let's get this glued down. So just going to, I think, apply the glue to here, to the ruffle. Oops. Oh, come on. That was a very short, sharp shower, because you can probably hear it's not been raining now for ages. So, but it really was almost like hailstones, I think. And now it's obviously stopped. So, no doubt it will start again. You know, ready for the school run time, because that's when it likes to rain the most, I notice. There we go. Right, let me just get rid of a little bit of that thread. I do like the threads hanging, but sometimes it just is a little bit too many threads. Okay, so that looks really pretty. So now I just need to decide on either this or the white. So that's that. Which weirdly looks really nice in the flesh, not so nice through the camera. Or perhaps I've got some other white lace. Just hold on 2 moments. I just suddenly thought behind my desk, I just happen to have a little bit. Oh, that's nicer. Yeah. Okay, and we can have that going off like at an angle there. So let's just pop that down. Okay. Okie dokie. Right. So that's that. And then just pop a little bit more glue there, just because it was like curling round a bit at the edge there of that lace. Okay, and then just need to pop this down because it's just coming up here. Okay, so that's my inside cover. So obviously all you're needing to do now is line your page up to your cover, if that makes sense, you know, up to what you're using as your cover. And exactly like we punched the other pages is you just, you know, or what I do is just, again, bulldog clip. Let me get my bulldog clips. So just to hold them together in place like that, and then take your crocodile and you're just going to punch through your holes. So one, there's one, and then clear those little punchies out. Oops. And then the other one, oops. Oh, come on. Oh, there's still a punchy in there. That's why I can't really see where that's lined up. Yeah. So again, just line that up. Oh, come on. Right, okay. And you're just going to punch that through. And that's it. And then obviously you've got your cover then piece ready to go onto your, or, you know, as your cover, onto your rings as your cover. So that's that. And then again, I like to just, you know, for a bit of continuity, I like to just have those little hole reinforcers here. Which actually I've noticed I haven't done there. I mean, I have got quite a few finishing things to do to this journal. So obviously going through and doing these little hole reinforcers and things, that's, you know, that's another thing I now need to go through and do. But yeah, it's definitely coming together now. So the front cover, obviously I haven't quite finished, and we now need to, you know, do some more things to the front cover. I'm going to obviously not keep going today because I really dread to think how long this video has now dragged on for. So yeah, I may come back and quickly finish that off with you another time. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I apologise for all of the mucking about and how long it took to actually get to this point, but I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks very much. Bye.